Creator Clash 3 was doomed to fail. Two things happened today. IDubbbz released a content deputy on H3, and the Creator Clash 3 Twitter account publicly announced that Ian and Anissa Joma are stepping away from Creator Clash 3. And today we're going to talk a little bit about both of these issues. So let's get through a little bit of a preamble. Since the drop of Content Cop H3 on April 16th, IDubbbz has been facing a lot of public backlash as he failed to garner respect from other public figures, which ramped up the pressure for IDubbbz and his associates. And to be clear, if anything, what IDubbbz accomplished with his Content Cop is that he completely alienated any individual that would have any sort of respect for him. This led to people like Ice Poseidon and Tectone to speak out publicly about a potential invitation to Creator Clash 3, mocking the idea of ever participating or being a part of any event IDubbbz organized due to the negative reputation IDubbbz has.
I got invited to box IDubbbz in his event, his boxing event for Creator Clash, but I had to decline that because if I were to lose the IDubbbz, I would be extremely embarrassed.
Or how IDubbbz quote-unquote backstabbed Ethan Klein.
I'd rather do a fighting event that isn't run by somebody who stabs their best friend in the back. Yeah, no, I'm good, man.
All of this followed shortly after Harley Morenstein dropped from Creator Clash 3, which also followed after Harley Morenstein was targeted by known enemy of Ethan Klein, Bad Empanada. Of course, Harley would not be the only person to drop from this event. A few days later, Lena, wife of AB from the crew of the H3 podcast, also dropped from the event. To learn more about the situation, take a look at the video linked in the description. But anyways, with all of the negative PR that IDubbbz have been receiving at the time, drops like these were nothing but expected. Nobody wants to be tied to or be caught in the middle of a politically grounded feud between massive creators and be forced to align with one side or the other, especially when these fighters don't want to be called Zion supporters, terror supporters, or genocide supporters based on who they endorse. Now that we have that out of the way, a very predictable announcement has been made. Ian and Anissa Joma have made the difficult decision to fully step away from Creator Clash, both publicly and behind the scenes, and are relinquishing ownership of the event. This makes a lot of sense, as them being tied to this event, with all of the negative rep that they've accumulated, only serves to jeopardize any promotion of the event from other creators or their participation in the event. This decision wasn't made lightly, but it's a necessary step towards returning Creator Clash to its core purpose, bringing communities together for a night of boxing fueled by passion, discipline, and the goal of raising money for causes that matter. Since the beginning, this event has been more about than just the fights. It's been about creators pushing themselves beyond their limits, fans rallying behind something positive, and using that energy to do something good in the world. Since Creator Clash inception, we've been able to raise meaningful funds and awareness for charities making real impact. That mission has lost focus in recent weeks, and it's clear that for the event to move forward, things need to change. Like, it's almost as if they're acknowledging that their own involvement, Ian and Anissa's here, is only jeopardizing any potential success that Creator Clash may have. Make a note of that and keep that in mind for later. As a part of the fallout, both Harley Morenstein and Lena Ayad have stepped away from their scheduled fights. While we're disappointed to lose two creators who brought so much heart to this event, we understand and respect their decisions. So yes, these people are perfectly aware of the issues at hand here. The fighters still in this card have been training for months in silence, in sweat, and in the shadow of everything else going on, which they shouldn't be doing because promotion is incredibly important for an event like this. They deserve the spotlight, not the fallout. So they are definitely understanding of this issue. This event was never about any one person, and it shouldn't be defined by internet drama or personal conflict. Okay, so they definitely do understand the core issue. I'm only reiterating this a lot because it will ring a lot harder later. Our hope has always been that this event could be a force for good, one night where entertainment, effort, and community come together to support causes that matter. That hasn't changed. If you felt disappointed or let down by the noise, we hear you, but we hope you'll continue to support the people stepping into the ring. They've worked too hard, and the charities we fight for are too important to let the mission get lost. Thank you for being here. We're still fighting for something bigger, Creator Clash. Although it's incredibly indirect, they are acknowledging this dark cloud over them and how it's coming to pour down on anything attached to them, such as Creator Clash and its participants. They know that the shot they took at Ethan Klein backfired because of the sour taste it put in other creators' mouths. Whether you, as a viewer, a member of the audience, liked the Content Cop and thought it was good or not, that is insignificant compared to the opinions of fellow content creators that are only ramping up this pressure. So on to the Content Deputy H3. To summarize the video for you, it is literally a coat fest where all Ian can do is complain about H3 and some insignificant insults. It is a pathetic display, and he even complained that he had to bring back Content Cop just to take a shot at Ethan because he was angry that Ethan talked shit about Ian and Anissa.
And you know, now I'm finally back to where I started, which is making Content Cop videos. I don't want to make this too ham-fisted, but I kind of do want to make it ham-fisted because I'm like, I spent my last 4 years working on this stupid boxing. I mean, it was worth it, absolutely, but like, It's crazy that I've just returned to content cop. I mean, ultimately, I think it's a good thing because I think I am meant to roll around in I think me and Ethan are both meant to be rolling around in pig all day long, and other people are meant to do boxing.
I mean, so much for discovering empathy and wanting to retire content cops just to start shit, I guess, but here we go. But the reason I bring this up is because in the first 2 minutes of this video, despite everything that we have seen on that tweet, which came out after the video, by the way, IDubbbz heavily implies that Ethan was very destructive to Creator Clash's reputation due to attacks, as if this event wasn't doomed to fail regardless of Ethan's input.
It's been really disheartening to see how often Ethan will attack Creator Clash through us or attack us through Creator Clash.
Ian and Anissa, masters of putting on an event.
He's reposting random troll accounts that are very easy to vet. If you click on this profile, it has a bunch of Sam Hyde adjacent posts, and it just hates Anissa and I. Come on, dude, you're one step away from calling me a cuck. Just take the plunge. He's highlighting this post that equates Creator Clash to a crypto rug pull. He's saying the event is gonna be worse than TanaCon. Can't wait for them to blame us for their failed event. Don't worry, Hila, I'm not gonna blame you guys for anything Creator Clash related. I know you're terrified of taking accountability for anything, so that will rest solely on my shoulders.
Now, to be fair, that was more than likely not Ian's intent. However, it can definitely be interpreted this way, which he should be incredibly careful about because it sets up the tone of this video as being incredibly petty and vindictive. Look, I don't want to dog on IDubbbz too much. I actually want to be fair. There are some arguments in this video that IDubbbz could have actually structured well to fairly criticize Ethan, but he fails to do that. I'll utilize one as an example, but before I even get to that, I want to point out how much this video feels like it was rushed and put together, using clips from barely 24 hours ago, repeated petty shots, and only stuff from recent controversies. At this point, this no longer feels like a content cop or a content deputy or anything. It is literally IDubbbz airing out his personal issues, which is incredibly ironic when you notice that a good chunk of this video is criticizing Ethan Klein for airing out his personal grievances. But on to one or maybe two of the points that I do want to give IDubbbz kudos for. In a part of this video, IDubbbz criticizes Ethan Klein for being dishonest when he utilized a clip of Denim's chat compilation, making it seem as if the CPS outrage was more consistent and rapid in her community than what it actually was, which is a fair criticism to make. IDubbbz hit the nail pretty well here.
You used a video that takes context from like 3 different places and combines them to make it seem like someone is coordinating an attack on you.
Love made a good point. You said, is this every comment? I believe this is a live feed of the chat. This isn't edited.
What about the top right? I thought these were
No, it's
selected.
this, I think when you full screen it, no, this is an edit. It's a cutout of the full chat. It's just enlarged there.
Oh, really?
Over the screen, yeah.
They're different, I think.
Yeah.
It's not timed. It's not timed the same way.
But it sounds like based on this clip, you knew that it was and you just went with it anyway. Ethan Klein uses this very deceptively edited video that is just like doing this smooth scroll to make it seem like that's all of Denim's chat. But that's not what it is. And then when he's called out on it, he hides it. He moves his window over the real chat.
Also, this is not a joking matter, by the way. It can be very severe and deadly to small children. I mean, much like many other illnesses.
Reading the chat, co-signing
it's
it.
very, very, very dangerous.
Now pay
So I would
attention
assume
to
he doesn't
her
actually
chat.
have a housekeeper anymore, or perhaps he lost his extra housekeeper. So now the house is just like covered in dolls, and he has kids, and his kids like.
Why does it have to be anyone else's fault but your own? Take some.
Before this part in the video, he makes another good point. That being that Ethan Klein is an incredibly rash individual that says things that get him in trouble off because he is way too quick to be open. Which is fair. When you say things on the internet and give people ammunition to use things against you, knowing that there are people out there that are incredibly malicious and bad faith, there is a level of risk that you would have to assume. It's part of being on the internet. It is part of operating as a content creator. You have to be careful, which Ethan isn't. But the issue here is that IDubbbz is a terrible messenger in this case, given that he comes across as incredibly tone deaf. The implication that Ethan Klein is at fault for the CPS stuff due to his rash nature makes it very easy for people to discount these criticisms. Yes, there is a risk that Ethan Klein needs to accept, but no one deserves to be smeared and misrepresented.
It's just so bizarre that Ethan would expect Anissa and I to make a statement when Denim's herself already made a statement about it and said that she does not condone calling CPS.
So we're talking about CPS. 1, I don't condone. 2, I've never condoned it, and you will not be able to find a clip of me saying, yes, we should do this, because it doesn't exist. I've literally given Ethan Klein credit on multiple times or multiple instances, and I will do it again right now, for not showing photos of his kids.
Part of my criticisms of Ethan initially was the openness. I think it's a problem that you are that open, Ethan.
Well, you know I'm very open about everything. It's
Yeah.
part of how I wanted to conduct myself and how I wanted to relate to the audience, is to be open as possible about every fucking thing in my life.
It is not strictly a benefit to be as open as possible on your podcast.
Ethan was just sharing his thoughts, what we were thinking, we were speculating.
Sonny's crawling around. He's putting everything in his mouth. He's at that age. He has giardia.
We were speculating.
It also doesn't help that a lot of this video is IDubbbz slinging shit right back, making it feel as if this video is coming from a very vindictive place. Ultimately, I think IDubbbz could have done better, and that's what got him into the situation in the first place. Due to his lack of thoroughness and failure to be as fair and as impartial as possible, it opens him to get as much negative sentiments as people are willing to give him. Don't get me wrong, while there is the potential for some of these arguments to be done better, unfortunately, as I said last time, IDubbbz is not the right person to be taking these shots. While he claims he wanted to come at this kindly, we now see that IDubbbz is just equally as petty and as vindictive as Ethan, and this entire video comes across as an anger-fueled follow-up. But if you want my full unfiltered opinion, subscribe to my Gamma Live channel where I will upload my live analysis. Thanks for watching. That's all I got for today. Also, join the Discord. Thank you.